Welcome back to another episode of the Dotted Line podcast. And this is the second special edition to the Dotted Line podcast. No, I'm not talking about sports. No, I'm not talking about music. I'm not talking about any beef or any this, that, and third. I'm not talking about a great invention. I'm just talking about real everyday the situation, real everyday um, epidemic that we face as human beings day in and day out. And I just want to touch on a few things on this special edition. And um, always like, subscribe, share. This is going to be a very long-winded episode. I'm not sure how long I'm going to sit on this topic, but I definitely um, had something compel my spirit this morning. It don't really take much to really get me in a certain headspace. And I have this platform, I have this podcast, so that when I do feel the need to say something, I say it. And it's gonna hit home to the people that need to, hear it. The others that kind of aren't in that headspace or in that mental capacity may just scroll past it, may hear what they choose to hear. And that's fine because the language is not always universal. So those who can speak the language can understand the language. Those who don't, they won't. So I'm not mad at that. And prior to me recording this video, make sure to pray and just ask God to kind of just really order my steps with what I'm trying to say, and also not to undermine Him with nothing that I'm saying now, because it's going to kind of be a sense of um, it may come off as being ungrateful. And I'm not coming from a place of ungratefulness. I'm coming from a place of just trying to comprehend. So it's more of a petition to comprehend certain things. But without further ado, let's start this very special edition. Um, so since the beginning of time, um, humanity has had this urge, this unique urge of curiosity, whether it's to eat the fruit off the tree or just to revamp transportation with like the cars and horse and buggy stuff of that nature. There's always been a need to like advance and want to um really put curiosity into play. And I know I have mentioned before about how we as human beings have abandoned ourselves. And I feel as if, like I just said, we're curious with how much, like how far we can like push the boundaries of just how much we can gridlock ourselves, how much we can get away from what God has put on this earth for everybody, not just some people, not just a few people to inherit. I have came to the conclusion everybody have their own gift bag. Is and I say that because everybody has their own gifts that God has set aside for them, right? And I feel like we have gotten to a point to where we want our gift bag, the neighbor's gift bag, the mailman gift bag, the milkman's gift bag, and it don't really work like that. And I feel as if we're in a day and age to where I feel like we're in a day and age to where you have to really be a real dark, twisted individual to not to get anything, but to maintain it and to expand on it. Because you can get money doing anything in this day and age. You can get money sweeping floors. You can get money building bridges, you know, technology, TikTok, and like I said, and I will continue to say, we are in a golden age. We probably the greatest age of availability to jobs. As far as this, you can do whatever you put your mind to as long as you got a camera. Like a decade ago, well, yeah, maybe about 20 years ago, I couldn't do this. I couldn't just upload whenever I feel like it. I couldn't just, you know, do shit like this. This shit was kind of unheard of. Because you had to have, you know, a news station, a radio. You had to have something. You had to have capital to capitalize off of certain things. But you know, in this day and age, anybody can do anything. You know, and that's what's up. That's the beauty of it. But what comes with that is those that are behind the scenes, those who are within the scene is gridlocked. Everything that you could think of is gridlocked. So, and what I mean by gridlock is it's restricted. Everything is restricted. It's not just, oh, you can just do this. Even with like my DJing. Um if I wanted to upload on like TikTok, it has to be a minute. It can't be a minute and 5 seconds. It can't be a minute and 10 seconds. It has to be exact minute because music is copyrighted, right? And my whole thing with that is you have videos that people are DJing and maybe one out of, let's say, about 40 videos is muted on like TikTok, or maybe two. So you got 38 videos of that's longer than a minute that's not muted, that's not flagged for copywriting. Or even if I post on Facebook, um, it has to be disputed by Sony Music Group in order for certain parts of my video to be played. And this is just music playing. This is not like it. Like, you know, I don't own the rights to this music. I put it in the description. That is fair use. I don't own any of this music, and I have said this before on the platform where is this. I feel as if we get to a point to where we just want to push the boundaries. We want to have these terms and conditions. We want to have this and the third to where we feel so empowered that we feel like that God is subservient, that we are a higher being because we have all of this capital. You know, we want to push this being. We want to redline this being a being. We want to put on the check engine light and just keep going with this being as far as this is really capitalizing off of people's situations or capitalize off of the lack of whatever it may be. And, you know, it's very intriguing. I was talking to a family member yesterday, and we were just talking about different topics, and something came up as far as this the government or something along those lines. We was probably talking about, like, I think property or something like that. And like we were saying how, you know, it's crazy how you can spend your whole life paying off a mortgage and you still got to pay property taxes even once your house is fully paid off. You don't just not never pay for having housing. I don't care if you spent 40 years paying on this house, you still got to pay property taxes. If you say, you know what, nah, I'm not going to pay this property tax, they're going to take your house that you know you spent 30 to 40 years paying on, even with your car. If you got a fully paid off car, you got your title in the mail, you know, all is good. You still have to renew your plates. If you don't renew your plates, they will suspend your license. They will fine you. You know, this and that third. Everything is gridlock, and I'm making this video for answers. So I'm making this video to just really just um, see what you guys think about certain things. Because I do remember making a video saying that we normalize shit that's not normal, and I feel like every day, um, I'm being shown that. I'm being shown that we normalize shit that's not normal. Like I just mentioned with the with the car, right? Let's say you're in a place of space to where you had to decide, do you want to eat for the week and pay your rent, or do you want to renew your plates? Let's say that's a scenario that you find yourself in. I'm pretty sure people have found themselves in that situation or similar situations. Let's say you go down a route, let me just knock out rent and eat, and then I figure out my plates um at a you know different time, right? Let's say you get pulled over, right? Let's say you buy a, officer, I know my tag is suspended, like I had to make it to work. I had to woo woo. Now you may encounter a cop that get it. All right, bro, just make sure you knock that out, bro. I'm gonna let you slide this time. Woo, woo. You may get that, or you may get a cop that again feel like you are subservient because he has a badge, because he's licensed to carry a gun, because he has the backing of the blue wall, and now he feels like Juggernaut. He feels like the Incredible Hulk. So in that scenario, it could go completely left. He could snatch you out the car. He could vet you. He could make you feel uncomfortable so that you can react to him making you feel uncomfortable. All because of you have a plate. Everything else valid. You have a valid license, you have valid insurance, but you just your tag, your tag to your car. Something that costs where I'm at $200. I know back home that's about $300 to $400, depending on what vehicle you drive, and then you still have to get your town sticker too. Where I'm at right now, they don't have town stickers, but back at home in Chicago, like they had, where you have to get your plates for your front end, the front end of your car, the back end of your car, the tag for your car, and your town sticker for parking on the street. So again, I'm making this video for clarity. I'm making this video to try to comprehend how does certain things work, because I pride myself on being a logical, rational thinker. I don't do or say shit just cause. I'm not a sporadic person. I try to have purpose with the things that I say. I try to be as practical, as rational as humanly possible. But I feel as if every single day that's being pushed past its limits. And I know a lot of family members and a lot of people who are older than me is just say it's just life. Life is life, and this and that third. Uber, Uber, understand that. Life is having to work for the things that you want. Life is having a family and being able to take care of your family because you get up and work. And when you have time off, you're able to do the things with your family that you work so hard to do versus in this day and age, like I said, golden age. You can do whatever you want when you want, but the bottom line keep moving, right? Imagine that. Imagine you can do whatever you want, but the bottom line keep moving. You can work 150 hours doing whatever, TikToking, whatever, and your bottom line keep moving. Oh, you gotta pay this fee. Oh, you gotta do this. Oh, you can't get like. So it gets to a point to where you have to look at yourself and be like, okay, what's what's the right thing to do? What's the right movement to move in? What's the right thing to do versus just you're able to capitalize off of your hard work, able to capitalize off of your knowledge of things, you're able to capitalize off of off of you being the unique being that you are versus this somebody's telling you. Because even the whole theology of working, and I said this, I think, on my very first podcast ever, first or second podcast ever, episode, where it's just like the theology of just like you work 40 hours for X amount of dollars when you can work longer, or you outwork people in that allotted time, and you still making what everybody else is making, gridlock. But that has been the old fashioned fallacy. That's the old fashioned gridlock. Now it's things that's like on a greater scale. That's why I keep saying, in this age of XYZ, you're able to do such and such. It's still that same old fashioned, okay, you're gonna be restricted to XYZ. And it don't me personally, I don't feel like it works like that, because it's just like you can, like, let's say, for like example, I'm the person that's making all these things, right? I'm I'm eating steak while you eating crackers. That's kind of how that analogy works. I'm able to capitalize off of you're doing, whatever you're doing. I'm making it to where I'm benefiting solely, and you just benefiting off of just the notoriety of something, or you're benefiting off of just the thought of working hard. Is very, very, very strategic how this world works. And I feel like, me personally, the human race, this is not a, oh, the deep state, the Illuminati, the ooh, is so I feel like we have succeeded those kind of like those powers that be, or whatever the case may be. I feel like we have succeeded that, because it's just like it's deeper than whatever group of people that we can think of, or this and third. It's something very, very, deeper than that. And I feel like, yeah, it's been like that. But I feel like in this day and age, like, I feel like people read, just like I pride myself on researching and being a nerd at heart. I feel like other people research history too, and they see the the um the the different theologies. And let's say, like, you look at a Alexander the Great, a Napoleon, Mussolini. You look at these people and say, "Oh, what went wrong with them?" Oh, okay, that's what. Oh, okay. Let me, because I'm wealthy. I have a business. Let me implement what they did, but I'm gonna do it different. I'm gonna make sure I don't fall where they feel. It's people like that. It's people who think like that. They try to study history to try to mimic people who are either, or in a whole different time period. It's different between eras and time period. Eras, they come and go. Like, but time periods, like, you can't put, let's just say, let's take a basic car. Let's take a Nissan Maximum, and a motherfucking, like, in the time period of just elephants and horses like come to battle. It's like a different time period. You can't really equate those to bring a Nissan to a Roman battlefield. It's just a different time period. So it's just like people don't sit and think like, damn, okay, I see that didn't work for them. Why would I try to mimic that? Because it's only gonna end the same way, or if not worse, for like me. But again, circumstances really subdue people. Like, when you get to a point to where you just get tired. You just get tired of getting beat. Like, I have such a such a competitive spirit. I'm like, and I get that from both of my parents and the late great Kobe Bryant. Like that Mamba mentality is just that's just in my DNA. That's just something that I hate losing. I hate feeling that I'm getting beat, that I'm getting just swindled, hustled. Like being aware of that versus just like, damn, I didn't know how that worked. It's a difference between like you didn't know how that worked and then shit is going left. Okay, cool. Lesson learned versus you're aware, you're aware of it. Like if your awareness is there and it's still happening, yeah, it's definitely going to sit different versus just like okay, damn, it is something that like I wasn't aware of. Now moving forward, let me not make that same error. So it's something to be said about just about that, and I feel like people just cling to just what they can, and I feel like it's so many great individuals in this world that's on Skid Row. So many great individuals that's, let's just say, good, like you good at playing a guitar. You're playing on the side of a street, for dollars and, quarters, you know, and, you can be traveling like the world. But I feel like everybody has their own gift bag. And also within that gift bag is your journey, is your destiny. And I feel like we all, and I've said this, we all have the same destination, and that's death. That's the transition away from this being. We don't know the time, we don't know the date, but our destiny is already designed, and that destination is already put in the GPS. No matter you're just the coolest person to ever walk this earth, or you're the most um angel-like person to ever walk this earth. We all have that same destiny, right? But within right now, in that destiny, we have the journey. We have things that we have to accomplish before we reach that destination, before we reach the end of the journey and we stand before judgment or whatever you may believe, where we get, whether it's reincarnation or we get, judged and, we get our eternal sentence to whatever realm is next for us. We all have that same unique factor. But the disparity is just we want to feel as if we're God. We want to feel like we're a higher being, whether you believe in a higher being or God or whatever the case may be. It's evidence. I'm not just talking from a place of just I feel like, oh, XYZ is that. It's evidence. Like I just said, with the capitalism mentality, with the curious mind of trying to gridlock um ourselves and try to just get to a point to where we have all that we feel like the world has to offer. And then once we feel like we have it all, we're going to try to get more. So all of these fallacies, all these shortcomings that a man has, it's almost like it's counterproductive because we know that there's limits in this world. We know that we can only do so much. Whether you believe the world is flat or a sphere, you know, is limits to this world. There's limits to this earth. We can only do so much on planet Earth. So when you max that out and you still thinking, okay, there is more to it, or let me just start thinking of just random shit to do to others so that I can occupy my time. I'm gonna make this my journey. To occupy my time to whatever degree it may be. And I just feel like um, it's something to be said about that, and my question to like you guys, and definitely feel free to comment. That's something that this page don't have enough of. It don't have enough feedback. Guys, comment whatever you feel is best. I check my page at least every other day, minimum. But definitely on this video and all my videos, comment something. Comment. Interact. It's cool to interact. Let me know that you're getting something from it. So my question to you guys is, what do you guys feel is going to be the end game to all this? Because like we see the wars, we see the inflation, we see um within the confines of where we work at, confines of our house, we see how just life has us in like this noose. It's when people say life is his life, it has a different hit to it. It's not the same as it once was 20 years ago, because life is so much different. It's so much more that we can obtain. There's so much more that's within our realm to own, to have, right? So when you try to pursue it and everything, you hit roadblocks after roadblocks after roadblocks after roadblocks after roadblocks. And I get the saying, roll with the punches. Like I said, life is life. You know, things are how they are. And my favorite, it is what it is. I get all of that. I understand all of that. But at some point, you just being human, you have this curious mind. Like I said, you have a curious mind. And my curious mind asks questions. It don't just ask questions and just, abandon this route, because I feel like I mentioned, when you ask the question of, let's say you didn't max everything out, you ask the question of what's left to do. Oh, let me do, do something wicked. Let me rob a bank. Let me exploit people. My mind don't think like that once I reach a certain point. Um, my mind thinks, okay, why is this working like that? What makes this work the way it works? Why is people so upset at others? Why is wars being televised? Why is, you know, at throughout history, even war documentaries now, I look at that a little bit different, because if you think about it, for this most wars minimum last 4 to 5 years. So you're telling me, at, on this earth, murder is legal for 4 or 5 years in the name of oil, in the name of freedom, in the name of whatever the case may be. Murder is legal to get your point across, to get to that end game. And like, before, it was just something that I feel like, okay, war is something that happens throughout time, and I'm curious to kind of just see how that unfolds. But lately, I just been thinking about that. Like, damn, like murder is legal for 4 or 5 years. Like, and you have war veterans that tell their their tales of just how, I killed this Jap, or I killed this, Jeremy, this German. And it's just, man, it just makes you think. It makes you think. I feel like as I've gotten older, my wisdom has really risen to a point of like, I don't just hear things and just keep going. I kind of, whoa, wait, let's really unpack this shit, versus just like, Oh, okay, cool. Oh, like it's not. It's like sometimes I feel like my younger self was a bit tone deaf, or the questions. It was probably just one question and then that's it. But I feel like now questions kind of break off into different sub questions, and like everything really like kind of unpacks itself now that I'm older, because I would spend a whole day thinking about certain things because of how my job is set up. Me having all day, literally all day to think. But yeah, I just definitely feel I definitely felt something within my spirit this morning, and I just wanted to really talk about that because it's to a point now to where all of these things are like crashing. It's like waves crashing into like the rocks, you know, um, with everything that's going on. And like I said, it's just I pride myself. I pride myself so much on just being available for people, being aware of what's going on, working hard, and it just seemed like you still losing, you still getting to a place and space to where it's just like, damn, that wasn't enough. You still behind on bills, your account's still negative, you still gotta ask for help. You're working hard. You're not taking days off. You're not going to the boat. You're not buying the new Jordans. You're not going to basketball games, sitting courtside. You're not tricking off your money on like women. Like, damn, like what's going on? And and I prayed prior to recording this video because I didn't want to undermine God, or not feel blessed. Because despite of everything that you have heard right now, I know I'm blessed. The fact that I have the ability to even sit here and record this video lets me know that I'm blessed. The fact that I'm able to, in everything that I do, equate God into the mix. Whether I'm DJing, I'm on this podcast, I'm out in the world trying to make it make sense. God is still in the midst of my life. God still has His hand upon my life. So I never want this to come off anything that I say on this platform as being ungrateful, or not aware of what I have, because I do have more than a lot of people have in this world, more than a lot of people have in this world, and I'm grateful. I'm grateful. I'm extremely grateful. I'm definitely blessed. I'm definitely privileged to be who I am and what I am, and know where I came from and who made me. But I just feel like this battle between the creator and the creation, we are not going to win that battle. No matter how much we feel that we can just grid like ourselves, and we can do whatever the case may be so that we can feel subservient and to others and make God subservient. We're not going to win that battle. So I leave you with with asking yourself throughout the course of your days and throughout the course of your life up until this point, what have you done to really help yourself, help others? What have you done to really counter the things that this world put in place to be full off of everything other than what they need to be full off of, or be full and just snatch your place, snatch your food? What have you done to really um, push push back, not in a violent way, not in a way that is going to get people hurt? Because I'm not pushing the narrative of being irrational Thinking that irrational thoughts is not going to get you nowhere. It's not, because if you can't communicate how you feeling in in the most part in a universal way, being impulsive, you know, being irrational brings in impulsive actions. So I'm not pushing that agenda. I wouldn't. I'm not saying storm the Capitol. Fuck that. No, don't do that. I'm just saying, like, what have you done to really do something in a positive light to kind of just go towards the right path versus just staying the course. And I feel like this is my example of going down the right path versus staying the course. Because staying the course would be, let me not talk about how I'm feeling. Let me not talk about the egregious, subtle, subliminal things that goes on day in, day out. Let me just act like it's not happening. Let me just chalk it up to the game. Let me just act as if, it's something that I did wrong. Let me act like it's always my fault. Let me act like it's my wife's fault. Let me act as if my upbringing really hindered me. Let me act as if me being born black um, was my fault, and everything that goes on is my fault. No, I don't have those fallacies within my mind. I don't look at situations as all my fault, because it's certain things that's going on that I have no impact on. Certain things that goes on that I may have been involved, but the lion's share of shit was not on me. And I can take responsibility for the things that I did. I can raise my hand and say, hey, at that time, I wasn't thinking logically. At that time, I wasn't who I am right now. At that time, I made a mistake. I can look at that and like say that, but whatever has transpired in the past is just that, and I have grown from that. So I definitely feel a lot more um fluid now as far as this having having this time to really say my piece with um with 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 chaos. I definitely have to say my piece within chaos, because if I don't, it makes me bitter. It makes me something that I'm not. Um I have a therapist that I visit once a week, and that can only get so far because it's only once a week for a hour, and incredible, incredible conversations. One of the only people that I can have just an unrestricted conversation, un, unrestricted about anything, without judgment, without feeling as if I'm being weird, without feeling like I'm being long winded, without feeling like I'm irrelevant. And everybody needs that. You know, everybody, husband or wife, isn't capable of listening to them for long periods of time, uninterrupted, and listening to understand, listening to comprehend. Then not only listening, giving feedback. So this is why I have this platform to bridge the gap for me and for others. So I definitely hope something was said on this special edition to help you get through the week, help you get through your life. Um, Again, comment, interact. I don't always drop these special edition videos. Um, Typically, it's about sports or a breaking news, or shit that is not as deep as this special edition. So I challenge you to comment. I challenge you to interact. And because if you hear something that I'm I'm wrong, or hey, that let's kind of alter that. Look at this differently. Feel free to comment that. Feel free to message me on any of my platforms. I'm on TikTok at DJ Scotty Tudati. I'm on Facebook at the same handle, DJ Scotty Tudati. Feel free to message me. Feel free to say, hey, I seen your YouTube video. Woo, woo. Hey, bro, I feel like you can. Woo. I'm all ears because we are all humans. We all have our own journey, and along this journey, feel free to drop wisdom. So again, I hope something is said, something is heard to help you get through your week. And until next time, this is DJ Sky Tudati signing off from a special edition of the Dotted Line Podcast. Peace.